You're listening to Oilersnation Radio, presented by the Nation Network. Subscribe for free on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Thank you, Lisa. Welcome to Oilersnation Radio, episode 77. Here we are in the podcast studio at beautiful Little Brick Cafe down in the River Valley here in Edmonton. I've got Tyler Yaremchuk on the board, as always. To my right, I've got Rick, I've got Jay, and we've got Tim and Christian in from Germany.
It's a long travel just for a podcast.
It's a long way to go for you guys to talk to us for an hour.
Thanks for hosting us.
Of course, you two are part of the group that came in from Germany. There's 26 of you. Been touring around the city. Got to check out a couple of Oilers games.
We got one tonight we're going to.
Yeah, big game tonight.
We got our tickets.
And by the way, this podcast was recorded last Tuesday, so as far as we're concerned, the NHL's still going.
Want to start off by thanking our friends at Sherwood Ford the Giant. As always, go ahead and follow them on Twitter at Sherwood Ford and on Instagram at SherwoodFord_the Giant. If you see Jay cruising around in the Nation truck, please take a photo of it. Tag us along with Sherwood Ford on social media. Use the hashtag Nation Truck and you will be entered to win a $100 gas card.
The Nation truck has been working for the people this week. It's been moving Germans around this city like crazy.
Gotta do it.
As the brochure states in the glove box when I pulled it out, the Nation truck can indeed fit 8 Germans.
Really?
Oh, sure.
It's a hell of a unit.
Yeah, just got to open the sunroof.
That's good content.
Yeah. So we had some fun, tight, very intimate rides to and fro.
Yeah,
that could be a trivia question for later. How many Germans can fit in the Nation truck?
Oh shit! And then I think we can squeeze a few more. I think we can push it. It was 8 to make it like a little bit uncomfortable. I think we can push it because open the sunroof.
8 to be friendly.
8 to be friendly.
I hope the government's not listening to you right now.
Yeah. If we got pulled over,
the health officials are not going to be happy about this.
Yeah. There was there was no social distancing in the Nation truck today.
As far as I see, though, that is less than a group of 100. So.
Isn't
250. Watch out for my business,
every
please.
listener of the podcast in a room and be fine.
It's 250, please. I need that for my other work.
So obviously we have to kick things off with what's going on.
What is going on?
Yesterday, the NHL officially suspended its season following the NBA, which did that on Wednesday night. That happened, Tyler, in the first period of the Oilers game?
Yeah, basically it was right after the first intermission of the game. We got the NBA cancellation, and then it was just, the old snowball rolling down the hill where it just didn't stop, and it scooped up every single league in its path. It was the NLL. It was the MLS. Eventually it's Major League Baseball, NHL, WHL, AJHL. Shout out to the AJHL. Always got to work in an AJ reference. It just everything, and it's weird. I was talking to the play-by-play voice of the Oil Kings, Andrew Peard, after he found out the news, and he got out of the rink a few hours after, and he was like, when you're in the rink and in the environment of sports, it's apocalyptic.
It's like weird. Where were you?
Yeah, and it felt like, your world as someone who works in sports media was ending, and nothing is ever going to be the same. Then you walk outside and it's like, well, actually, no, society's still trucking along here. Like, it's just my own bubble that's really affected. But man, Rick's right. It's one of those, where were you spans of 12 hours, right?
It's funny because only a couple months ago I was in Mexico and I looked at my phone and the Kobe Bryant news came out.
Yeah.
And you're looking around, and I was actually there by myself at that time. I had family come and meet me a little bit later. So I'm sitting there on my phone of all this juicy news, and I've probably had a couple already. So I'm walking between pool and I'd see guys walk by. I'd be like, hey, hear about Kobe? So it's the same thing. I was at work on Wednesday, and everyone's phone, you look down your phone, oh shit, the NBA just can't, they suspended their season. This got really serious, really fucking fast.
Well, I was also in Mexico in January. And at this point, here we are on March 13th. That feels like a decade ago.
Dude, how much has happened?
That feels like Wednesday, the day that the NBA canceled or suspended their season. That in itself felt like a year and a day. So much stuff happened in a matter of 30, 40 minutes that it was surreal to be kind of working through it mentally, trying to figure out what's going on with the people around you. All of that is very bizarre.
We're living through history right now.
We are. Look how old we are, man. We've never seen anything close to this.
What do you mean? Wow, what? Wow. In terms of history?
No, just our lifetime. We've been around for
9/11 was pretty interesting thing to live through and witness.
Yeah, that's true. But we've never had all sports stop.
Oh, yeah.
Right? There's nothing happening right now.
Well, and that's
Zero.
one of the interesting stories about it as well, is because even with 9/11, a lot of people took sports as kind of a reprieve from life and kind of got into watching sports as something that
brought everyone together.
we could all get together, focus on something that was outside of life and just take a break. And right now we don't have that.
And it happened in like, I know it took like an hour, 2 hours, or whatever it was, the total from start to finish, but it was over in like 2 hours, right? Then you've got to like recover and whatnot. We're in the middle of this still.
We're at the beginning.
Yeah, well, yeah, wherever the hell we are in this, it's still happening though. That's just, it could get a lot worse, could get better, could just keep doing what it's doing.
Was anybody here upset at all that any of these leagues suspended or canceled outright?
I think you're upset.
Yes and no.
Like you're upset, but you're understanding. Like they couldn't go on. It's simple as that. They couldn't. And if you were going to be the one league who took a hard stance and said, nope, we are playing games, you would have been ostracized. It would have been the negative PR from that wouldn't have been worth the revenue you would have lost. So you're disappointed, you're upset, but I think we all knew it kind of had to happen. Right? Like,
I guess.
Like, what are you? I know I get that, especially like for me, like, man, I think about not being able to cover the junior playoffs. Like, I really rely on these 2 months as like a big source of income for me throughout the season and for the rest of the summer when I don't have sports to cover. And now that's starting like 3 months earlier, and I'm like, fuck, what do I do?
With my industry, man, like we've been praying for playoffs forever. I've been in my industry a long fucking time, and I've seen 2 sets of playoffs in the last 14 years. That's ridiculous. We were on the cusp. Oh. We're talking about it. We're preparing for it.
We're locked in, man.
I'm ready to go.
We were there,
and now all of a sudden we sit back and wait.
So we've ordered a bunch of stuff for playoffs. We have paid for a bunch of stuff for playoffs.
Yep.
And if we haven't paid, we're now not going to. And so we're prepared, but I'm just, fuck. I'm upset that this happened, and I just wish, like, fuck. You don't know how to, like, this is such a new thing to happen, a new phenomenon. So you can't really prepare, because, like, a plan could have been implemented a month ago to mitigate this. Potentially, right? But whatever. We are here now, and we're living it. And I think I'm still going to be the internal optimist that there's going to be some form of playoffs this year, and the Stanley Cup will be, raised.
The NHL is far too stubborn to allow this to just go away.
Yeah.
It will, like, they'll figure out this whole Corona issue in the next, 2-3 weeks, and they'll start to, figure it out. It'll start to level itself off, and we're going to be playing, and I really don't hate this part, but we're going to be playing hockey in July.
Fucking rights. That's great.
I'm good with it, man.
Well, let's go.
Well, that also raises questions, though, right? Because they're going to have a lot of... Today, Tom Anselmi, Oilers president of business operations, had a little press conference just to kind of answer some questions or whatever he could. And one of the things was, well, what is going to happen with the schedule? And all he could simply say was, I have no idea.
They don't. They're sitting there. They're on a unknown timeline, and once you're given that, then you'll sit down and start put together ideas. But for now, there's really no point in it.
Well, and hockey takes precedent in terms of the use of that venue, because everything is going to be canceled at Rogers.
He did say that.
So, like, the minute they're like, okay, sorry, Barbara Streisand, fuck off. The Oilers are playing tonight.
How dare you?
She on a tour? I didn't know she's on a tour.
Fuck, infinite tour.
Oh my God.
She's an angel.
I wrote about it a little bit at Oilersnation.
Barbara Streisand?
Yeah,
yes, about Barbara Streisand.
Excellent.
But about like the 3 sort of ways the NHL could go, and all of them just create massive problems. You could cancel the rest of the regular season, but then you have teams missing out on revenue, teams pissed off. Like if they do it by points percentage, aren't the Canucks like half a point percentage out of the playoffs? Like they're going to be livid, man, that they aren't getting a chance to get their piece of the playoff.
No, I think it's Calgary.
Well, then it's Calgary. But either way, like you're going to have organizations, and rightfully so, they'll be pissed off that they didn't get a chance to play their final games. If you decide to cut the season down to 75 or 73 or 74, how do you make the schedule? How do you determine who's going to play who for the final 6 games of the season? You can't. To get everyone the way the schedule is going, it'll never end at a point. It's not like in a week everyone was going to be at 75 games. That wasn't going to happen. It's always going to be uneven.
There's no right answer.
And if you extend the regular season, hand out the cup on July 31st.
Hell yeah.
Well, then but then next year, there's no way you're convincing the Players Association to take a short off season. There's no way.
Yeah, so you defer. So it's.
But then you're losing 10 regular season games next year to make up for it.
Or no, I think you lose the week off.
Yeah, you take the bye week.
Good luck telling the Players Association they're not getting their bye week.
But this
but here's the thing. Everyone everyone has to feel the pain of this, and that's the thing. Like it's a no-win scenario
for everybody.
But for the NHL, if you're a team owner, if you're out of the playoffs, you still want fucking playoffs because you want that TV money. Like there's revenue implications,
league-related revenue.
Yeah, right. So like that, like it's got to go on, and it doesn't matter what they implement. People are going to be pissed off about it. But I think if you had the choice of, okay, well, since we can't have the perfect solution, we're just going to cancel the season. I think people will be like, oh no, I'll take playoffs, please.
I also think that there's going to be a lot of movement on both sides, whether it's the teams, the owners, or the players, because they're going to have to come to some kind of agreement. Like, even if they're playing into July, contracts are set to expire on June 30th. So UFAs or would-be UFAs would still be playing for their club.
It's just a shift. It's a shift. It's a shift.
So we all have to do it because we're all in together.
Or like I brought up this question as well. What's like... There's so many mind-numbing details of the CBA. Like, what's the insurance policy on a player whose contract expired? Or do they just simply go,
there would be an addendum. They would just say, okay,
extend it.
Everyone agrees, the whole PA and league agree that August 1st is the new July 1st.
Yeah.
I was watching TSN's coverage of this whole thing yesterday, and they were kind of, obviously everybody's guessing. Nobody knows anything concrete. This is all just guesswork. But the insiders on TSN kind of assumed that if this is the case, that everyone is going to have to work together, and that the CBA, if only for a year, might just get pushed to the side in terms of finding solutions to make it work.
You're hoping everyone can just put hockey first, right?
Yeah.
I think they will.
But that's where the money is, right? Like if the hockey doesn't get played,
money, though.
well then okay, the salary cap next year is $50 million. So everyone makes less, right? Which can't happen. Yeah. So everything I think is going to be done with the best intentions. Mm-hmm. The good news is Toronto right now is holding a playoff spot, so that for sure politically will make sure that the season does come back. So we got that working for us, those motherfuckers. But the good news is the Oilers are in the playoffs, so we're in a good place too.
I thought this whole issue was being brought up by Toronto just because Leon and Connor are doing so well.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Matthews is like 16th in the league.
The Leafs engineered coronavirus to disrupt the Oilers.
This ties in nicely with our Sherwood Ford Giant question, which is, what should the NHL do with the remainder of the regular season? People have been answering on social media for us. A couple on Instagram, Epic194 said they should cancel the regular season. Whoever's in is in, and try to get the playoffs going mid-April or later. Another comment says the NHL will likely lift the suspension by the end of the month, adjust the remaining schedule, and play out 82 games. So differing opinions all around, I guess.
I think that my idea would be going by points percentage, if they have to cut it off now. However, Tyler, you did make the point that there are teams that are just kissing the playoff cutoff line that would be pissed off. So maybe they do points percentage in addition to a play-in for wild card 2 or something like that.
Oh, like a one-game
playoff.
Wow. That would be... Well,
no, it would be... So I saw Elliot Friedman had something on TV that today, actually, or last night, whatever it was. And it was playoff percentage, and then 7 plays 10, 8 plays 9, 2-game aggregate score, both games back-to-back in the home venue of the team with the higher amount of points.
I don't mind that. Even if you want to push it all the way to a best-of-3 to make it feel more like a true playoff thing, have them played over the course of 4 days in one city, and you do... And even you could even say, hey, you know what? If you're Winnipeg, I have it up on the screen. If you're Winnipeg having to host Minnesota, Winnipeg can host all 3 games, but you're splitting your hockey-related revenue with the Wild organization, right? And
That's
you could help them out that way as well. But I think I like that idea. Maybe just forget about the regular season and look at expanding the playoffs to the teams in the race. In the West, it's actually easy because I think we could all agree Arizona's probably fucked.
Yep, they're out.
They've been Taylor Halled.
Yeah. So then you get Minnesota versus Winnipeg for 3 games. You get Nashville, Vancouver. The winners bump in or whatever it is with points percentage. And in the East, it really is kind of the same. Like Florida's... the East is a little bit more difficult with the Panthers. But still.
Devil's advocate, though, is that if you're Edmonton or you're Vegas or whatever, now you're going fresh into the playoffs into your first round with no games, whereas the other team's already played 2, maybe 3 games.
I'd rather be the team that's played a few games.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
I'd rather be the team with my playoff spot locked up. Is that counterpoint?
Yeah, but the other teams are going to want to play too, right? They're going to need to shake off some rust as well. So that's where I kind of like the 72, 75. Figure out how to get everybody there. Once you're there, you're done. If another team has to play 2 more games in that time, whatever, and go from there. This way, everyone gets like 2 or 3 games in before the playoffs start.
Alternate scenario. we set up an American Gladiators style gauntlet.
Ooh, yes.
And the bubble teams are going to have to go through that one where they're shooting tennis balls.
Yep.
Who's shooting?
Turbo.
Oh,
You know, Turbo from the 90s.
He was good. He was
a
good.
sniper out there.
Turbo can shoot.
It's going to be interesting to see how this. Everybody's guessing at this point. Nobody knows. Even just as I was watching and I was live tweeting and I was writing the wrap up of Tom Anselmi's press conference today, the reality is that everything is so fluid and that updates are coming moment by moment rather than week by week, that this could change so much by tomorrow or Sunday or Monday that it's really going to be interesting to see how this happens.
Well, there were those 2 reports there that, you know, they shut the NHL down for 11 hours, and then people out east in Canada were able to isolate the coronavirus, and then in Saskatchewan they found a cure for it. Like, you give us 2 weeks and Canadians will have this thing wiped right off and get the hockey back going.
I mean, like I said earlier, not having sports at all is a big problem just in terms of
life.
Just sitting on my couch
socializing with
staring
strangers.
at the wall.
Like, I don't want to talk
I haven't
to
looked
strangers.
I haven't looked at a TV.
Oh, I've been watching Forged in Fire. I'm learning about blade smithing.
That's terrifying. In case this gets worse,
You can make me a sword if shit gets real.
Yep.
Civil
I feel
distress.
confident that my blade smithing is getting up to par, and no matter what happens, I'm going to be prepared. Now, Tyler, if you were to pick, how would the NHL solve who makes the playoffs?
I kind of like the idea of going to like a 20-team playoff and having some play-in games in here. I think that honestly might be the way to do it. You say too bad to the Arizonas and Chicagos of the world, and you play in the West, and then in the East, I think you could. It gets a little bit trickier, but I mean, I think you just got to find a way to make it work.
If you lose by a percentage point, you lose by a percentage point. You can lose by a goal in a shootout in today, right?
Yeah. So
could you imagine just the overall excitement if you had a 1-game play-in?
I mean, it works in baseball, right?
It's so why
not?
In baseball.
Dude,
the issue
March
would be
Madness.
I don't know if you can do a 1-game play in this situation because it's 1 game after not playing for a month.
That's it's going to make it spicy.
Yeah, like I guess it could really, really spice it up, but like those games would just be nuts. Would they be like so defensively focused and structured that it ends 3-2? Or would guys just be so rusty that it's fucking mayhem?
It's mayhem.
It's mayhem.
It'd be 7-6. It's like a World Junior game. It might be
80s.
fun. Let's you know what? Why not? Let's just get weird. Let's get real weird with this thing.
It's a chance. Yeah. It's a chance to do that, right? Fuck tradition.
This year, if we're talking about saving the season or the playoffs, fuck tradition is almost kind of going to be the motto.
It has to be, yeah. As long the only tradition is the Stanley Cup is going to be awarded this year. That's all. The only tradition.
You can't tell me you're not bummed out the fact that Leon was on pace for 8 billion points and he's going to end up with whatever he gets.
Well, at least we can give him the Art Ross now.
Yeah,
Art Ross, give him the heart. Our friends from Germany are nodding in approval. Yes,
I agree. Sure. But you guys wanted to see Leon get like let's see what Leon can do in a full 82 like this type of a year. Everybody has to sit there going, man, he could have got 130, could have got 135, could have 140. That type of number is absolutely ridiculous in today's hockey.
This is absolutely crazy, but to be honest, we need the Oilers in the playoffs, and
that's fair.
That's what it's all about. So, of course, Leon is important for us, but more it's a team.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a great answer.
So I want to pivot to our friends, Tim and Christian from Germany here. You guys came out as a big group, came out for a hockey experience, watched the Oilers. You got to go to a couple of games, had a watch party at first round the other night. Then, obviously, none of us could have ever seen this shit coming. But I want to talk about the earlier stages of your trip, what it was like, what you guys have been doing, what you think of the city. I want to hear all of it.
It was really crazy for us. It was awesome. We expected some things, but it was even more. It was so cool. The city, the people in the city are so good to us. We felt like rock stars the last days.
Yeah,
really.
Well, we did see you guys pop up on the Oilers official tweet page. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think this was the icebreaker for us. Yeah, they're coming in to us in our section and asking for photos and something like this. It was so amazing. And also when we were at the bars and so on, everybody came to us. You're the Germans. we saw you on TV or on Twitter, on listening to you on radio. It was awesome.
You guys were a little thrown off by the fact they stopped serving booze at 2 a.m. though, eh? Yeah, I heard they came in on Friday, Saturday, whatever night it was, and the lights go on at 2 o'clock, and the servers are all done, and the boys are going, what's going on right now? what is happening? Sorry guys, that's the way she goes out here.
Yeah, we were really confused, but because it was also the time change night, so...
Oh, yeah, I guess, that would have been, 2 o'clock became 3 o'clock real fast.
Yeah, and suddenly we had to go, but we were like just beginning. but we had a really great night at the Pine. But
yeah, we'll have another one, what is it, tonight?
Yeah, we're going to do a send-off party tonight. The fun thing, you'll love this, Bag Milk, because I know this is your style, but the Germans love the D floor.
Oh, you got to hit it.
Oh, they hit it hard, and they set up shop. Like they went out and didn't come back.
I did see on your Instagram, the Squire Yag on Instagram, in your story, a little bit of 99 Luft balloons going on.
Oh yeah,
the boys were on the floor
immediately. The whole all the Germans, all their seats are empty. They're on the dance floor. They're clapping. I was like, this is just this is amazing because this is like exactly what I thought would happen or hope would happen.
Sometimes you got to get out there, especially when the jam touches you. You hit the floor with gusto.
Oh yeah. I've got a very compromising video of myself because I'm intoxicated. We're singing and dancing to Backstreet Boys. I've got it. I'll share it with you guys.
Is this video as good as you singing, dancing to Britney Spears?
Ooh, yeah, it's up there because the fire. I had the fire in the video for sure.
Miss Stempenko, I hope still has that video.
I hope she does not.
Yeah,
me too.
A lot of incriminating.
If you're listening now and you don't know what we're talking about, go back to the Vegas recap episode. The Stepenkos, that's all you need to know. They are documentarians.
They are.
For better or worse.
They get you. You don't even see it coming, but they get you. But it's good. But thankfully, because that provided so many memories for me for that night in terms of like what happened.
But like when the rhythm touches you, you got to hit the floor.
You got to hit the floor.
It's like an out of body experience.
It is. It is. It's been so much fun with these guys living Edmonton through their eyes and just seeing like how everyone's been treating them. Because I'm walking around with them and then I'll one of them will get like pulled aside and be like, hey, are you the Germans? And like. It's just cool. And then like all the people that they got to meet, because first things first, these guys and girls are all Oilers fans, right? These aren't just hockey fans coming for a hockey trip. They're all Oilers fans. So they watch Sportsnet. They watch, they see Gene do his openings. They listen to Jack Michaels if they can't watch the game, and they got to meet every single one of them. And got to interact with them. And so they got to, this thing that they admire from so far away, they got to come and see in the flesh and see all the elements of it, which is so cool to witness.
So for those, Jay, that don't know what's going on, why we have 26 Germans in town, please run us through just kind of how these trips work, what happens, where they came from, Germany, obviously, but like how this all gets put together.
Yeah, well, this one's very interesting how it came together. But normally it's just we engage with the community, and then we started with one trip with the Swedes, and we showed that we can do it, and it unlocks the attention from other groups. But and that's what led to kind of the Germans. But the initial interaction was when Dan went to Cologne. So there's an Edmonton Oiler German Facebook group that these guys run, and they've got it's a community of about 1,400 people.
Yeah.
And they run their own mini nation. They're writing articles. They're writing prospect content. Like they inform their community, and they're all Oilers fans. So Dan they had a meetup in Cologne for the game when the Oilers played the Cologne Sharks there in the preseason, and Dan met them all. And I think it turned out actually randomly sat with some of you too. I think just randomly with tickets, but. They just made a connection, and then so we kind of we established that bridge and that relationship, and then as we kind of started doing more travel, all of a sudden these guys are like, well, could you do something for us? And we said absolutely, because the nation is the nation. We're all over the place, and we just want to bring community together. So that's kind of how it all came to be. And then they went to their group and said, hey, we're going to Edmonton on these dates. Who wants to come? And we went to the airport with a bus, and 26 of them shot out the other end.
Unbelievable. I see both of you guys. I see both of you guys wearing Nation gear. It's amazing.
Yeah.
For you guys in Germany, obviously there's time differences that, like, I complain when the Oilers are on the West Coast and the game starts at 8:30
on a Sunday night. 8:30 Sunday night. Come on, that's
it's
ridiculous.
It's the best time for us because like it's at 4:30, so we can get up early and we can go to work afterwards.
So you guys are waking up middle of the night to watch the Oilers play.
Yeah.
What is that like? Like, what are you just sitting in darkness by yourself watching it? Are you texting each other during all of this? How does it work for you guys?
Yeah, we have a game thread for every game, so like everyone comments. It begins in the evening before the game, like at 8 o'clock. Our capo Björn will put up the game thread, and everyone like is saying what they think the game will end up, and everyone is making. We have like some running gags for the games. Like one guy always tells we were gonna win 10-0. And there will be a big party if we win one game 10-0.
I've been writing GDBs on weekends. Jason Gregor, that's my job on the weekends, is to write the game threads for the Oilers. I've been saying they're going to win 4-2 every single weekend game for 3 years now. So I feel that. That touches me.
Yeah, that's what we are going to do too. And afterwards, we go to bed. Like if it's a East Coast game, we have to go really early to bed. So
That'd be 1:30, eh?
Yeah, it's 1 a.m. or 1:30, so we have to go to bed like really early, so we get 3 hours sleeps in. Then we watch the game, and then afterwards we get another 3 hours sleeps in. If it's on the weekend, it's better, so we can just stay up late.
Yeah, you watch the game at 1 and then probably go to the bar after because you guys party till 7 in the morning.
Yeah, or we go to the bar in beforehand because we have like so much time.
Yeah, you gotta do something to stay awake.
And yeah, then in the game it's like it's going wild in the group chat, like in the game thread.
Yeah, there's nobody else to talk to. Everyone else is sleeping around you guys. You're like, oh, I got my internet friends here. They'll keep me up as I watch this game.
That's commitment.
Well, it's like, dude, doing it once or twice in a year is fun. Like I remember doing the Canada final Olympic game in Russia, and you were definitely there. We had everybody out of the bar by 3. They pretty much went and stood in line, and it
was like -30 out that day.
Yeah, it was cold. And then 4 o'clock, we opened the doors again. So we did it once. The game was at 5 or 6 in the morning, where the hell it was, and that was fun. Like I love that. But do not ask me to do that 82 times in a year. There's no chance I'm doing that.
Everyone is calling us crazy. Like we have a lot of people, the younger people, like the parents are running crazy. Like my mom doesn't like that I stay up a lot at night. But my dad, actually, he's standing up really early. So if we have a 4 a.m. game, what's like the typical, like the 8 p.m. game is 4 a.m. for us. So it's like the typical time.
Yeah, so you're getting games at 3 or 4 mostly.
Yeah, and my dad is standing up and he sees me in the living room and he's watching hockey. Yeah, it's normal now, but a lot of people think we're crazy because even though it was actually one time like the Olympic final where we played Russia.
Yeah.
2018. Yeah. 2 years ago. A lot of people in Germany did like they stand up at 5 a.m. for. They wake up at 5 a.m. for
that
watching
game.
hockey. Like it was the only time. But everyone else thinks we're crazy.
Yeah, they do that once every 4 years, though. Yeah. You guys are doing this 82 times in a year.
So the West Coast games and matinees are probably the games you love the most.
Yeah, matinees are like our primetime games. Like the earliest we get is 7 p.m.
So you're 8 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, 8 hours.
Yeah, and, so 11 o'clock, and then the 9 o'clock game.
7,
and like that's the best times, like the 7 p.m. or 10 p.m. Like. You go right to bed afterwards.
Yeah, you guys are watching normal life. You guys are watching it normally, and we're sitting back here eating eggs Benedict watching the game.
I'm in a house coat.
He's in a house coat at 3 o'clock in the afternoon these days.
I do love my house coat. Well,
and he has indoor Uggs, I bet, too.
I'm wearing Uggs at the moment.
I know. I bet
it's cold outside.
I bet you have a pair of indoor
Ugg
Uggs.
slippers?
Oh, fuck. I might go there.
I'd probably think right out of bed into a nice pair of Uggs to start your day.
Well, I might be going full Howard Hughes here and just, live in my robe, and
I don't mind that.
Yeah. I don't want to be like that. It's just
I was a little cold for that today.
It's been a heavy week.
I do enjoy this. When these guys come around, we get to see a younger version of the Squire come back. Everyone's gotten, we've known each other for a couple of years now, and everybody's, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 years ago. Everyone's a little bit younger, and now you see everyone getting a little bit older. And,
you said it in Vegas. the Squire Travel Edition.
Yeah, this is the Squire Travel Edition.
Got to do it. Sometimes
You gotta let it out.
I'm excited for tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We had a blast last night because this week's been tough, obviously, just with all the stuff, and we had to implement some fucking very crazy changes and whatnot. So it's been very stressful. So I took the opportunity. This is what's been so good. Having the Germans here has been just great because I've seen that they're living, their best lives, and it kind of brings me up. So I went out last night with them and I said, "Fuck it, I'm getting after it."
I got some fresh White Claws coming in today. We're ready to go for tonight.
Oh, let's get White Girl wasted.
Yeah, we're getting White Claws.
Okay, have you had the claws?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to double up the order too because last week we've crushed them in the weekend.
Do you get all the flavors?
No. Black cherry and mango. That's it. I'm sorry,
had
Zach. Zach has no idea what he's talking about when he says lime is the best.
Black cherry and mango are the two best, without a doubt.
Black cherry reigns supreme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We don't have them over there.
No,
in
they
Germany.
just got here. Literally last Friday was the first day as a bar we could bring them in.
Yeah, but I read a lot about them on Saturday evening.
Oh yeah, they got to be out there. They'll be out there sooner or later, I assume. But yeah, we'll taste them tonight.
Yeah. It's we're gonna be claw-abiding citizens.
Sometimes you got it.
Shout out goat.
Oh, hello, goat.
Yeah.
Sometimes you fought the
My
claw, the
spirit
claw
animal.
won.
The claw is gonna win tonight.
Yo, no, they're not going to come up here anytime soon.
They'll come up for playoffs. It gives them more
I
time.
know, but we don't know when that is.
Oh, so have you seen any of our content when we were in Vegas with the Utah guys? Did you see that? Yeah, they're just great humans, just like you guys, and they're making plans to want to come for playoffs, and I just can't wait to see them again. So maybe, you know what, them coming up in July, that'd be great.
That'd be fantastic.
We can show them Edmonton in the summer. We go for a float down the river.
The sun never goes down.
Imagine if someone would have told you in September that this was going to happen to
I
the
wouldn't believe
NHL
it.
season.
I wouldn't believe you.
Take your tinfoil hat off, you weirdo.
Right?
Man, it is. These last 2 days, it's honestly almost felt like it feels like you're living in a movie with everything that's breaking every second coming at you with it. It's nuts.
Just look at it the way you think about it today, as opposed to the way you thought about it on Monday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's totally changed. It's weird, because I never like to let these things affect me.
No, it was nothing.
Now you don't have a choice.
It was nothing until they started canceling sports.
That's the interesting thing about it too, is how many people just weren't taking anything seriously until, first of all, Tom Hanks, and then sports. Back to back, and everybody's like, "Oh shit!"
Even the way I talk about it completely changed when it's like, man, you brought sports into it. And now it's just like, what in the hell, man?
You cut me deep.
I love this because you're going to become a brand new person. I listened to the radio show in the day, and Lotal bring up this movie, that movie, the other movie, and nope, never seen it. Nope,
now you got
never
all the
seen it,
time to watch all
Yeah,
the
you're going to
movies.
become a brand new person.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. Last night was night one, no sports. I watched over 2 hours of Big Brother Canada.
This is ridiculous.
I gotta get caught up.
Is it
too.
good? Maybe I'll get into it now.
I gotta get caught up.
You're gonna be. I'll tell you this right now. You're gonna be hate watching it, but you'll love watching it.
Oh,
That's why I hate watching.
Can we
most
get him a
reality
copy
shows.
of Shawshank for... You've never seen Shawshank,
No, I've
have
never
you?
seen the shot. Maybe that's what I'll do. Every week
please.
on each podcast, you guys got to give me a movie to watch as homework,
Done.
and that'll be my.
Well, then start with Shawshank.
Yeah,
I'll start with
Shawshank's
Shawshank.
favorite. That's it.
And then I started watching last night. Do you guys know the rapper Lil Dicky?
Of course.
Oh, that show.
I started watching his show, Dave. Fuck, it's funny.
Is it
Where
good?
is it?
It's on FX.
Yeah.
So if you go and look through FX, you can still record the first 3 episodes because they play them sporadically. But fuck, highly recommend. That's a good show. YG's in the first few episodes.
It's funny we're talking about this because last night I was bored. There was nothing to watch. So I'm watching Forged in Fire for hours, learning how to make knives and swords and shit. And then I pop over to Netflix and I'm looking at just everything, adding some of the weirdest things to my list that I never expected I would be watching.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird dating shows on Netflix that I didn't know existed, but they're like, hey, you watch Love is Blind, so you might want to watch this one too, you weirdo. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to watch it, and I might start live tweeting it.
On this podcast, our Sherwood Ford giant question every week will just be, what should we talk about? And I think we just need to open the floor to the listeners on this one. Because
That's a tough question to answer.
what should we talk about?
Give us one topic to debate
Yeah.
for the first 20 minutes.
I like the idea of you doing movie reviews over classics that you have not seen.
Yeah. Dude,
It's going to be a long list, man.
What's the one with leave the gun, take the cannoli? Is that The Godfather?
Oh, I've not seen The Godfather.
I've not seen The Godfather either. So maybe that's like a team homework.
Oh, it's we're forming a book club.
Okay, look, this one you gotta. It's Shawshank's long too, but
how long is Shawshank?
Oh,
2 and a half. 2.5. Yeah. But you get caught up into it.
You know what? Fun fact about Shawshank, because it always used to be on TBS. TBS is a American channel that we get, and
like Saturday
I don't know if it's
afternoon.
called TBS, and it would be 3 hours, right? Like with all the commercials. So I'd only ever watched like the first 75% of the movie like 3 times, and then finally one day I caught it on just a movie channel, and then I saw the ending and I was like, holy fuck, this is some shit. I've watched the movie 3 times not seeing the ending, thinking the movie's fantastic, and then I saw the ending and I was like, oh wow, this is unreal.
Speaking of TV, sports TV is obviously, if you look at the guide, Rick posted it on social media the other day, it is just TBT.
Yeah.
What are they going to put there? Are we putting darts reruns?
I think step one is what do you do?
Poker?
What do you do with Sports Center?
This is dude. Like this happened back whenever the original lockout was.
But they had other sports.
It wasn't a sport. Poker became cool. Dude,
Yeah, well,
something weird is gonna come out.
But they can't bring people together. Yeah. Well,
Tiddlywinks or Pogs or I don't know what the hell.
Bring
happens.
back Pogs.
Like something's gonna be on TV and it's not gonna go away once hockey comes back. They're just gonna shuffle it in there. We're gonna have to keep watching it all goddamn time.
We're going to the rec room tonight with the Germans. Thank you, Rick, for setting up a bus.
You're welcome.
We'll be after partying at the Pint as well, heavily.
Heavily.
I'll live stream all of the events if we do Mario Kart as 4. So I'll live stream some racing.
Yeah.
I'll live stream some hunting. We'll have a buck hunting show.
Can you get them team pennies? So we know like 4 guys on team red, 4 guys on team blue.
And like pit stop where that guy has to run, like, and the group gives him a beer and he has to drink it and then get back in. Like
that's what I'm talking about.
We're gonna need some content, guys.
Content boys coming out.
Well, Dan is so I don't know if Dan wants me to tell this story, but I will. So his girlfriend was sick. Mm-hmm. And so she, just to be super precautionary because the world looked what's going on, they just kind of did like a self quarantine. She got tested, and Dan got tested, and we got tested, and test came up negative. Negative is a good thing.
So we good.
So now Dan's going to be joining us tonight. He's excited. So he kept away. It killed him on the inside because he's the reason. Like he's the connection to the Germans, and he hasn't been able to hang out with them for the last few days. So now he's pumped. So I'll get Dan to document our craziness, and hopefully. Well, not hopefully. Eventually, all of us on the dance floor tonight at the Pine downtown.
Dude, it's gonna happen.
Oh, if you're with the Germans, it's happening. It's not a question. Oh, they'll play the music. They'll drop.
Yeah, you let us know what you want.
Yeah.
There's a good thing Dan said to me in Germany, in Cologne, when we met 2 years ago. Like he said, we never met, but we were always friends because we are all Oilers fans. We are all friends, and that's something great he told us. And I always think of this sentence when we hear it this week.
Yeah,
and it's really feels like that.
Oh yeah, we're all friends.
It's so true. So Frank, who was on Nation Real Life, another great guy. So he's the media guy. So he's got his podcast. He does the podcast for the community, and so he had me on his podcast, and he was kind of like asking me about what we thought. And I just said exactly to echo Tim's comments there that like they're all Oilers fans. So like we already have a common bond. So like we're already like there's no like small talk. Like there's no like, hey, how are you? Where are you from? Like the weather, eh? Like fucking talking like it's like we're already deep. So talking about like the past trips where we host like the Finns and the Swedes, not all of them are Oilers fans to start with. We convert them at the end, obviously, because that's our mission.
And then sometimes he pisses one off and he wears a Flames jersey just to piss you off.
Oh yeah. Which I respect.
That was good.
That was good beef because I hated on his team back in Finland. But so hockey's the currency. So we still have to like get deeper to know each other. We're here. It just started like family right from we picked him up at the airport. Like Dan picked him at the airport, so I wasn't there. And then I came and met him at the Pint. They were there for just a dinner and some drinks just to get acclimatized. And like because we follow each other, we already knew all of each other. Yeah. So like we just hopped right into like conversation. It wasn't like any weird awkwardness or anything. Yeah, it's been super cool. So I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, it's been fucking awesome having you guys here. And it's been especially great for me going through this weird week, having you guys here because you're on vacation, so you're having fun. So that's good. So it's been good to be a part of.
Everything else that is good to be a part of is if you are staying home, our friends at Skip the Dishes are here.
Oh yeah.
And we need to feed you. So they still have thousands of selections available at skipthedishes.ca to make sure that you get fed. Even if you want to stay home, go to Skip the Dishes, grab something to eat. Do it for your body. Got to feed the temple.
Mm-hmm. If you can't make it to a grocery store, then there you go. You got to do Skip.
And you're just trying to put money back into the economy.
That's right.
Support local. If there's one thing we can do right now, I know everyone's feeling the pinches of all this, but
buy
support
Oodle
local.
Noodle.
Yeah, order Oodle Noodle will happily deliver you food during this time.
Do you know how much alcohol I'm sitting on because of what happens on upcoming Tuesday? St. Patrick's Day that I had to prepare for?
Shit.
You can send some over to my place.
You're going to need I have so many kegs of Guinness. It's ridiculous. It's just something you get prepared for, and normally it goes off, and now I have no idea what's going to happen on Tuesday, but I'm going to have a whole shit ton of booze.
I bet you people still are warm to going out. I've seen people go. I bet you'll have a wild one because I bet you there's some people that are stressed out right now.
School's going to be canceled. The kids will be out.
Oh, the teacher's going to be out. It's going to be like teacher convention.
Oh, dear God.
Look out.
Terrifying.
Look out, everyone.
That's
Because
terrifying.
if anyone has been, so teacher convention is, the school shut down for 2 days and the teachers are supposed to go and
They do a
take these
conference.
classes. And it's all downtown Edmonton. And what happens is they just party for 2 days. So you go out and you see these drunk teachers and it is wild.
No, it's beyond wild.
It's wild. And if, you're a male, you feel
Just go out.
You feel the eyes. You feel them. You don't see them. You feel them. It's like OTR.
OTR.
OTR on salsa night.
Yeah. You're definitely in the radar of many hunters.
Oh, it's unique. If you can enjoy a Thursday night of teachers convention, go do it. You'll feel special.
Please do.
If you do enjoy a night in, again, enjoy skipthedishes.ca.
And they deliver booze now too.
What?
See?
Yeah.
Skip?
Yeah.
See?
And you know what they're going to be delivering in 2 to 3 weeks?
I think I know what you're going to say.
Nation beer.
Nation Beer's coming up.
It's coming up. So we've got
I like that.
So after this, I've got some logos to show you guys, and we're going to pick one.
We're going to vote.
We're going to do it. But Christian, you were about to say something. We got cut off because we had to pay the bills. All good?
All good.
All right.
All
Awesome.
good?
All good.
Wonderful.
One thing I want to talk about, Tyler, just as we've got the last 20 minutes of the podcast here, is
18
obviously
minutes.
obviously with no hockey games,
Yep.
that creates a situation where we have to get creative in terms of what we're putting up in terms of content. Today, we all discussed, we conferred, said podcast goes.
Mm-hmm.
Show goes on.
Get to the dungeon.
And here we are.
Yep.
However, as this progresses, hopefully not for too long, we're going to get weird.
Don't have a choice.
As we should.
But I think the most important thing is I heard from so many people yesterday just DMing me. I'm going to be doing a live broadcast tonight on Instagram as if there was a hockey game.
Could you do like a 6-hour beat cast?
Yeah.
Is it beat or Brum? I feel like you deserve the Brum.
I
Tonight's
feel
a
like
Brum night.
I
We would
deserve a
have
cocktail.
beat the Islanders.
Absolutely. So the thing is, what are we going to write about? What are we going to talk about? And I've got plenty of ideas. Obviously, there's historical pieces that we can look at. There's season wrap-ups. There's top 5 Connor goals. There's top 5 Leon moments where I could make those lists for 1,000 years. Mm-hmm. But what I'm asking the people listening to this is if you have something you want to see, if you have something you want to do, if you have something that you want to be a part of in terms of content, let us know. Because it's going to get weird. We are going to do all kinds of contesting. We're bringing back contesting. I had about an hour-long phone call with Wanye this morning.
Oh, yeah.
And we
How
were
was
just,
that?
Wanye
is putting himself, he's bunkered down.
He has.
He is in the bunker. He will not do anything in person now. He is doing everything by phone. It is hilarious. But
we had a hell of a conversation this morning. And some of it did.
That's a tinfoil hat combo.
Some of it did involve content. So we've got plans for what is going to happen. But like I said, if you guys have any ideas of what you want to write, here's an idea I had. If TSN or Sportsnet or whoever is going to post or play classic games, I am going to offer a full game day experience. We're going to have GDB.
Oh, excellent.
We're going to have a preview.
You probably won't know which games are coming up, though. You may have to find out as the game starts.
Depends what the guide's like.
I don't see them fixing the guides at all.
You know what you could do?
Go ahead.
You could just go back through like the NHL.com Game Center archives. So you could have just like take a bunch of suggestions of like random games. Can't be playoff games. Like I'm talking regular season games from the last 20 years.
Gagne 8-point night.
Sure, or even just like a December 11th
like
against
throw
like, the
darts
Rangers.
on the wall. Like throw it on a month, throw it on a day.
Yes.
And then just go back and just do that game. And even if it's like a game they lost like 4-1 to the Wild in December of 2010, like that's just the one you're doing today. And you talk about some of the players in the game and all that shit. I think it'd be fun.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. So I was told last night on Twitter that YouTube, there's a bunch of older games in their entirety on YouTube. So what I was also thinking is doing a GDB, including the link of what game we're going to watch that night, and just having a weird night with the community about a game from 1998.
The person who is not into Oilers Nation would be like, that's stupid. Who would want to do that? Oilers Nation will get behind this.
Oh, of course.
You can't leave your house. What else are you going to do?
It'll be good because if everyone because you could pull a game and hopefully it doesn't say the score and like try to actually predict everything.
Yeah, because if you go back to like 98 and stuff like that, you're not going to fucking remember.
Like unless you like pull it up and it says like Edmonton 4-2 to LA. But like it'd be cool if there was an element of surprise so we had something to cheer for.
Well, and that's just it. Like I can't remember what happened in games from 2 weeks ago. If we're pulling out a game from 2004, I've got no chance of knowing what happened.
Oh, you know what would be cool? Like, one thing I wish we had just because it was a cup run is like if the nation was around for 05-06. Like if you just like went through that whole season game by game,
you could relive the 06 playoff run. Actually,
yeah,
that is what I'm looking for. So I spent time last night looking for those games up until Game 6, and then after Game 6 of the final, I'm pretty sure the season was canceled.
I was going to say, can we get the NHL back before you start covering the final, though? Because I really don't need to relive that.
As far as I'm concerned, it ended at Game 6.
Yeah.
Participation ribbons were awarded.
They should have given us the cup after we beat Anaheim in 5. Bang, done, over. Go
that
on
8
vacation.
or 9 day break was bullshit.
But that's what we're looking to do. So if you have ideas,
I would like it because I don't fully remember it.
I don't remember any of it.
Oh yeah, I just like we should have an event at the Pint because Game 6 was so fucking awesome. We should have a Game 6 Pint party if we're allowed to.
Dude, how
convene publicly.
How terrified were you in Game 5 overtime? Bang, arm up, shorthanded. Fuck.
Yeah.
Then they cough
Who
it up.
took the penalty?
Oh, fuck.
good
Good
call.
call.
We have to watch to find out.
Yeah, we'll have to go back.
Cough that puck up.
I know who scored.
Fern gets it, goes in.
What I can tell you is I remember being at a bar in St. Albert that no longer exists.
Deer Hunter?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. And my cousin throwing a full pitcher skyward. Wow. And nobody cared that they got doused.
No, fuck no.
It'd be
Nobody
welcome.
even fucking notice.
Oh man, I remember going out on the town after Game 6. It was just that was one of my best nights out ever.
It was incredible.
There was like 1 million people out, and just everyone was so happy, and it was just you just felt the energy of everyone. It was so
This is
fucking
breaking
fun.
my heart because like we might not get it this year.
Oh, we're getting it this year,
Dude, it was really so. You take like that high five line we had in Vegas, and multiply it from like
you mean
Calgary?
ground zero for coronavirus distribution?
Yeah.
We had a high five just to let the German guys know. We're just so pumped in Vegas. So we had a line of like 20 of us, and we high fived every Oiler fan that walked by. And it must have been like 1,000. Oh yeah, and even Knights fans. It must have been like 1,000 people we touched.
Dude, I tried yelling at that when the Knights bring their band by or whatever.
Yeah.
The one guy had the megaphone, and even in the megaphone, I think I was still up there with him, and he kept claiming it wouldn't work. The security kept pushing me away like I was going to do something. I chased him for like half a block.
We're bringing a megaphone next year.
Yeah.
This is a little off topic, but sort of on par with
welcome. Trust me.
Yeah. With the talk of playoffs potentially this year, if it does come back and it's a point where it's like a best of 5 for the first couple rounds and then 2 best of 7s, will an Oilers playoff run feel cheapened by that?
No, I think it'll be the exact opposite.
I don't think they'll do best of 5s.
It'll feel special because this is something that was taken away from us that is now back.
I don't think they do best of 5s.
Okay, but even if it comes back and it's not played till like, what if we're 8 weeks away from it and they bring it back? Will it feel cheapened or will it be the opposite?
God, no.
I'll be so fucking excited / relieved.
Everybody's gonna be so pent up and full of energy to go.
I think that this will feel so much more special
Yeah.
Because this isn't just a hockey issue. This is a societal issue, and this is the entire world going through the same thing at the same time, albeit at different weeks, it seems like. So I think that when the playoffs come around and when the Oilers first hit the ice at Rogers Place in front of a packed stadium, that place is going to get the roof blown off it.
Or the floor may just collapse this time like we tried to last time.
We will get
Ford
it this
Hall
year.
will be a jumping.
Yeah, it'll be Ford Road.
Dude, we're gonna have we'll have that patio. We'll have the patio wide open.
Oh yeah, baby.
It'll be like watching games in Anaheim and Florida.
It'll be silly seasons.
Yeah, can you imagine? That would be the nice part. Is if like it's a conference final game and it's like plus 25 out.
Oh, it'd be amazing, man. Like just think, like we'll be able to pour out of a game and have sunlight on a patio after.
Yeah,
Take
like
some
it'll be light
scooters.
till 10.
Oh,
Take some electric
we'll have
scooters.
to come back.
Limes.
We have.
Yeah,
I got an email from them being like, our public safety bill. I'm like, I haven't seen one in like 8 months.
There's a third company coming.
Lime. So there's lime.
Birds. And then I forget what the third one is, but they're ready to come here too.
Nice little competition.
Well, scoots.
A couple scooters in
Boot
the
scoot
fountain in the
boogie.
tree. They're still coming back.
Have you ever seen the pictures of like Germany around the 2014 World Cup in soccer?
Yeah, you guys. It's really tough to put into perspective here because you guys are like I think you can get 3 Germanys in Alberta.
Yeah.
Like, so we have no idea how much you guys are on top of each other.
Yeah.
There's so much space over here that for us to fill an area like that, it'd be a massive
So
amount of people.
what are you referring to? Sorry, Tim.
Yeah, that's a fair place in Berlin,
Yeah.
next to the Brandenburger Tor, the most famous place of Berlin.
Yeah.
And they're like it's a mall of 100,000 people who watch the game on screens. And I think you can do a smaller version of that in Edmonton if
Oh,
you
yeah.
have the playoffs.
You
in
could,
town.
but I
We
don't
have
know.
plans.
First of
I
all,
think
ideas.
that last time they dropped the ball by not having something exactly like that in Churchill Square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I agree with that, but as a guy who runs a bar, I don't like that idea because
But I don't think you guys would have to worry about it anyway. You would be still slammed packed.
would you want to be in it though?
If you're a family and you can't,
If family, 100%.
if you're a family and you got your
100%.
kids and you can't take them to the pint to watch the game
Because it
and get
probably
bananas
couldn't be
with them.
licensed.
Well, that's what I mean. But
Right.
over there, you guys were definitely serving beer, weren't you?
And
Yeah, of course you were.
you can have a beer truck there, yeah?
Yeah,
So-
everybody need a beer truck.
Yeah.
Have a shot truck,
In my own beer
a
truck.
White Claw truck,
Nation beer.
vodka truck.
Nation beer truck.
Just
They should
you
coming
hucking
soon.
them out of the back part of the nation truck.
Yeah, no,
You
he's
just have a
be-
couple coolers.
Oh, it'd be awesome just
floating-
driving around just chucking beers. Oh, you want to? I'd give a guy a god complex. Jesus.
I also
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
No, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, you're the star.
I just wanted to ask you, to be serious, do you guys think or are convinced that there are any changes corona-wise in the next 3 or 4 weeks?
here's what
I
I,
don't
think.
know.
It's that nobody knows.
You know what?
Sure, but
So I think the ultimate plan here is to get everyone to stay in the house so it stops spreading so fast, and then it will start to reduce the amount of panic. Everybody will calm down a bit, understand that, okay, wash your hands, whatever, you're fine. Such the majority of us aren't really in the danger area to begin with, but what they're doing is they're like, okay, everyone's got to stop spreading this shit. So stay in your house for 2 weeks. That's going to do a big number on the spreading of it, and then it'll give them a little bit better a way of dealing with it and stuff.
I think that the big thing that everybody can do if they're able to
Drink bleach.
drink bleach.
Okay.
Dude, no booze. It's already out there. I think they said 36.
Drink booze and jack off.
30
That's what we know so far.
Whoa!
It's true, man. That woke up your check.
Thank you.
He's like, Friday, what?
After Vegas, that'll be edited.
So I think what the most important thing that if you're able, stay home.
yeah, sure.
Stay home, restrict movement as
Yeah.
much as possible. Bow politely to strangers. That's
Curtsy.
where we're at.
I'm a curtsy, more of a curtsy man. Curtsy.
You do look great in a kilt. I think that that's where we're going to have to be at, and it's going to be trying to flatten the curve, as they say.
But if we do that for like a week, 10 days, I think that's really going to do a big number on it. And then at that point, you're relying on governments, sweet Jesus, to fix their end of it and get, testing out there and the cure or whatever and get all that out there. But I think, as long as everyone calms down for a little bit here, reduce everything, we'll be fine in a couple
and
weeks.
the thing is, too, it has to happen now. If we wait,
Every day makes it worse.
then it gets worse and it compounds, and the issue just keeps spreading forward and moving forward. So stay home. Don't wait for the government.
Don't go to the pint tonight?
Definitely go to the pint tonight.
I told you, there's a report out there. 36 drinks a week saves you.
What?
Drinking is good, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm not lying.
Yeah, really,
Fuck.
really.
36.
I put
That's
a
it.
big dent into 36 last night.
36. That's only 5 drinks a day, and then 6 on Saturday.
So what we're telling you to do.
If I do 10 on Saturday, then I could also just yeah.
See, 36. Everybody, work it down.
15
36
on Friday,
You get-
15 on Saturday.
Yeah, like
and
you
then
can get
Sunday.
pissed drunk twice, and then that could allow you 1 recovery day, and then casual drinking on the other 3 or 4.
yeah, manageable. Yeah, and then you can be productive.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go pick up, actually, when I'm going home, I'm going to pick up a couple of boxes of wine, Tyler.
And just for the record, guys, if you guys go out, like if you guys come visit me, 15 drinks. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's really not that much.
Well, anytime you go visit Rick at the pint, you're gonna have 15 drinks.
15 drinks goes down a lot faster than people assume it does.
Yeah, that's fair as well. I remember when I went with a whole group of people, I was like, okay, I'll buy you guys a round of shots. And I went and found Rick, and I was like, I just like a tray maybe I'd like to purchase, and you were like, no questions asked. Like, you had it.
I got it. 15 goes by very quickly.
Well, if I'm sitting down and I said I'm drinking, 15 is no problem.
Play the old ticks on the finger game. Every time you take a drink, you put a little line on the inside of your middle finger.
I think what we're all saying here is that pitch count doesn't matter right now.
Yeah, pitch count. I've parked the pitch count. Definitely because I want to make sure I have fun with the Germans while
Just
they're
till May.
Fun fact, we were talking about movies, and I forgot to bring this up. I even had it as a reminder on my phone because we were talking about classic movies with the Germans, about movies we watched a lot of. And I'd said one as a kid I watched a ton was Home Alone.
Yeah.
And they were kind of like confused. I was like, Home Alone? They're like, is that the one with Kevin? And I was like, yeah. They're like, oh, in Germany it's called Kevin Alone.
Really?
No way.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Kevin Alone.
What?
Love Kevin Alone. It's a Christmas staple.
Yeah. We have to watch it.
Got it.
Also.
It's like,
Have you seen Kevin Alone?
Yeah, I've seen Kevin Alone.
Okay.
I've
How
seen
about,
the first
how
one.
about Kevin Alone 2?
No, not
3?
Kevin Alone 2.
What's 2? Kevin?
In New York. Kevin in New York.
Kevin in New York.
I love this. New York. All right. We are winding down our hour. Tyler is eyeballing me. We're going to finish off with our Oodle Noodle hot and cold performers of the week.
Yeah.
What are we
he
gonna
was
do?
so against this.
Fun. This is good. We're taking right after this. We're taking the Germans to Oodle Noodle for lunch.
So to Tim and Christian, what the hot and cold performers of the week is, you look back at your week, maybe what wasn't so good, and maybe what was pretty awesome. Your hot performer is what you're excited about. Your cold performer is what you're not excited about. And I think that this week we should kind of go off the board a little bit.
Yeah, have some fun with this.
So what everybody is going to do is we're going to start with the veggies. Tyler's...
Oh, we're not sure what Tyler... I thought he was getting up to leave at first.
Oh, I see. He's got some buttons. He wants everybody to hear their buttons.
I just want to make sure the
Well, it's a good thing.
Tyler is...
It's a good thing.
Yeah,
we
they're
started
doing this
before.
without headphones, which is...
Good thing we did this
must
before
sound
it
like we're
started.
yelling.
Yeah. There
Well, look
is-
at the screen,
There you
dude. Look at that screen.
We're good.
Yeah, Rick
look
and I
at-
are here, so we're keeping the squiggly lines wide.
Those are some
Yeah.
tight levels. A little bit of a dropper on the 20 mark, easy to fix and post. Everything else is consistent.
As we always do, Tyler, we are starting with our veggies this week, and we
Okay.
are going with the cold performer of the week. Looking at the last week, the last 7 days of your life. Doesn't matter what it is at this point. Who is the cold performer of the week? I'm going to start with Tim. You got over there, we've got our friendly Germans here. 26 people come to Edmonton to enjoy a little bit of a hockey experience. It did got a hard left turn here in the mid trip. But what is your cold performer of the week?
I have to be honest. A little bit for me, the cold performer is the ambience or the ambience and
The fan experience.
the loudness in Rogers Place.
It's quiet, right?
The lack of, you mean?
The lack of, yeah.
4 years.
That's fair.
Rogers Place has been accused. We've called it the library.
Yeah,
for a
we're
reason.
making jokes about it.
No, it's the thing. That goes
Jay
back
already.
to the Coliseum, the library.
So, coming from Europe, coming from Germany, where you guys do chants right.
Yeah, but, I'm a season ticket holder in Switzerland, in Basel.
So, what if you were to pick, say, one thing that we could implement to try and turn the fan experience around? What do you think that would be? What would be your opinion on it?
It would be stands, like sections without seats.
Ooh, standing room only.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
Really?
you sit down.
Yeah,
you get a
you-
little tired. You get a little blah blah blah. Stay standing and let's go.
Yeah, you're like, you can make the tickets cheaper because you can fit more people in there. and like you have a lot of people who think the same way in there. You have younger people in there, but also older people.
Yeah, idiots like
and,
me.
And you can really get them together, and you can get them to start something. And if you start something, you can like most of the time it's only them who are chanting.
And everybody else feeds off it, and they all join in.
In the important moments, everyone joins in, and like in the really big games, everyone is doing it.
Well, I wish you were here for the playoffs, because in the playoffs, it is completely different. I remember getting in there, they'd be out there for the pregame warm-up, and we'd be in there, and we're going back a bit here, but we're chatting Belfort.
Oh, yeah, heckling the goalie.
Belfort. And, dude, that's 45 minutes before puck drop.
I'll never forget this in my entire life. I was at Game 6 against Detroit in 2006.
What a game.
And there was an extended timeout. So it went a timeout because they were reviewing a goal or something. And then that went into the commercial break. And for probably 2.5 minutes, everybody at Rexall Place got a silver pom-pom that they were all doing this with the Manny chant going, because Manny Legacy was Detroit Red Wings goalie at the time. And fast forward 6 months or whatever, they asked him about it. And he said, how could I not be rattled of 3 minutes of people screaming my name out?
I wish every fan knew this and heard this and was reminded every damn game, because if we have that type of atmosphere all the time, it will affect the other team every fucking time.
Of course it will.
As our record shows, we don't give them the best home ice advantage.
No, and I think that's kind of what you're talking about, right? It's getting involved, getting the home crowd going.
Yeah, the fans have to be the seventh player on the ice. Like,
I like it.
That's what it's all about. And that's what we would like to bring over from Europe.
I like it.
Tyler, the cold performer is fan experience at Rogers Place.
It's fair.
Well, we passed the mic along. I'm going to skip to Jay here, and then I'm going to come back. Jay, last 7 days, your Oodle Noodle cold performer of the week.
I've been thinking and reeling about this. I'm going to say the cold performer of the week is me on the dance floor.
Ooh.
Yep.
It's not a pretty sight.
Yep, that happens to the best of us.
It is a cold performer. I didn't want to get dark. I just wanted to say something light.
Like I said,
that's cold.
Like I said in the Vegas recap, it's one of those things where you hit the floor with so much confidence, and you think that you've got all the moves that you need in that moment, and then when you see them back, it's not.
And then Stepanko videos you, and then you realize you don't got it. And I made videos. I fucked myself and videoed myself dancing and singing with the Germans. I'm cold, baby.
Going back to the Germans, we're going to Christian with the cold performer of the week for the last 7 days. Sir?
Sorry, I hate to say it, but for me it's Leon.
Ooh. Oh, spicy. Ooh.
That's spicy. A hot, cold take.
That is.
He's still good. Don't get me wrong, but when you know what he can do, then it was not good, and maybe he cost us a game last night.
Whew.
On Wednesday.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
To be honest, we have some guys who are very disappointed. Yeah, he has 110, 100 and some points.
110.
And we came here, 3 games, 0 points. What the hell?
Leo Draisaitl getting a cold performer of the week. Mr. Rick, your Oodle Noodle cold performer of the week.
I think this is pretty easy. I don't really know his name. I think it's Rudy something. But that idiot who sat there and did his interview like this, after it was all done, he touched everything on the way out.
Rudy Gobert.
And now everybody's goddamn coronavirus, and we have no sports on TV. If he doesn't do that, if he doesn't get it, if it prolongs anybody getting it, North America athletes, we're probably playing in front of nobody. But we're playing.
He did the same thing He did the same thing with all the stuff of his teammates.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Now there's a couple guys, and if he doesn't do that, maybe it doesn't get into the players. We're still playing just in front of empty stands.
There's no way he plays for the team again.
No, I mean I don't know his contract situation and stuff like that, but boy, they can't be very happy.
Mr. Yaremchuk, your Oodle Noodle cold performer.
I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to keep it sweet. It's the pandemic for getting everything canceled. That's it. That's my cold performer. The coronavirus
they are just fucking ass right now.
That is a hell of a button. One more time.
They are just fucking ass right now.
That's hot.
That was from last week. I remember you clipping that one last week.
That's good.
My Oodle Noodle Cold Performer of the Week is the news cycle. The news cycle has been very, very intense to follow, and depending on how often you're checking it, things can change a million times. You can get a bunch of different and wrong information. You can get accurate information mixed in with bullshit. It is not helping at all. So my cold performer of the week is the current news cycle.
Can I say something about that?
Of course.
Yeah. People don't look up the coronavirus or COVID-19 hashtags on Twitter. It's absolutely
Terrifying.
terrible and terrifying.
Yeah.
You get a lot of worse stuff there. Go to the most reliable news resource and get the informations right.
And go to a couple different sources and then try and figure out what they're all trying to say.
If you're going to get news, make sure that you're getting it from the right people.
What do you mean, Facebook isn't good?
Oilersnation.com.
Oilersnation.com.
Coronavirus updates on the regular.
Hey, at this rate, you guys got to write about something next week. And
I have a coronavirus update. It's still here.
Yep.
Carry on.
Back to you.
We are going with the desserts now. We got through our veggies. It is time to look at the hot performers of the week. We're starting over down at the end of the table. I see Tim's got the microphone. We are starting with you, sir. Your hot performer of the week.
It's actually kind of the same, but it's the people of Edmonton in Edmonton.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had such a great time and we had such a warm welcome and everyone was so great to us. And we want to thank everyone. We want to thank Oilers Nation for hosting us because we had such a great time here in Edmonton.
Cash money.
We're just happy we're just happy you're here. We're happy you're here. We're happy you had a great time. We're happy that you got to see the city a little bit. And it's a bummer that unfortunately the end of your trip took a hard left.
But I bet you next year's a lot better.
Next year's trip is going to be a lot better.
Corona free.
Unless it's in a bottle.
We don't know.
So they've been drinking Coronas exclusively for the last few days.
You want to get immune to it. You got to get immune to it.
Small doses
and
makes you immune.
And they're probably on dirt cheap.
Yeah. 35 of those a week and you're good.
Our hotel bar needed a refill.
That's fair.
At 1 p.m. they needed a refill.
We have a liquor store that's attached to us, so you guys are good. You guys need some help, just let me know. I'll hand truck them over for you.
Rick's the man.
Well, we passed the microphone over. I'm going to jump to Jay here, your Oodle Noodle hot performer of the week.
My hot performer of the week is the coronavirus because it is doing one hell of a job.
Yep.
It's got us all fucking crazy and buying toilet paper in crazy quantities. It's got leagues shut down. It's got no sports on TV, so fuck. Caps off.
Right now, undefeated.
Undefeated.
Put some respect on my name.
Oodle Noodle, hot performer of the week. We are going back to Christian. You got the microphone now, sir.
Yeah, obviously, Oilers Nation. What can I say? So, everything we are doing here, we wouldn't without you. So, it's great. It's fun, and I guess we're coming back.
Fucking rights.
I also drink a beer at Rogers Place and I get crazy.
Whoa, what's that one?
His nation down again.
I also drink a beer at Rogers Place and I get crazy.
That was last week again.
Yep.
What is that pertaining to?
It gets crazy.
I said the atmosphere in Vegas was because of the fans going at an 8 out of 10 as opposed to here where they're starting at 4. And then inside the building, they just roll with it.
Oh.
And Dan said,
I also drink a beer at Rogers Place and I get crazy.
We had a lot of these beers, even though they're expensive.
I wish you guys could have got over. You should have figured a way to take them to Rexall and get them a Rexall beer.
in the empty stadium.
So Rexall beers.
They're still in those lines, man. And those things are toxic right now.
So Rexall beers were known as heroin beers, or what else did we call them? Crack beers. Because if you just had a few of them, there was something. It's
just to a period. There's to a period
folklore. There's just the stories around how those beers are more powerful and potent than a normal beer because of the beer lines have never been cleaned. There's all these theories, but if you but the result is actually true. If you have a few of those, you are on a different planet.
You know what was never around when Rexall beer was around? The coronavirus.
That's true.
The coronavirus would not
That's a direct correlation, if you ask me.
It is. Yep. Dude, it's been growing for years. There's no way that thing would last if the Rexall was still open.
I can't think of how many times I had to leave my car down in that neighborhood, which is just, there's no reason
That's
for it.
terrifying.
Outside of those magical Rexall beers. Rick, your Oodle Noodle hot performer of the week.
Well, this is tough, man. We don't not a lot to choose from, but I'm going to go back to. I know it's not a Mr. and Mrs., so we'll call them Connor and his missus. Taking a time out of their day yesterday to name the new police dog. I don't know if anyone saw this. I think it's Sam.
They named the dog?
They did.
Why'd they name him Sam?
I didn't read
After
into
Sam
as to
Gagne?
why.
Sam Gagne.
Yeah. I had someone text into the radio show today and go, "Hey, do you guys know if Sam Gagne came back here to be with his family?" And I was like, "That's a weird thing to be wondering at this moment." But maybe.
Sam just rolls by 12-6. Hey guys, just in case anyone's asking, I'm here to hang out with the fam.
I'm back.
Mr. Uremchuk, your Oodle Noodle hot performer of the week.
I'm going to give some love to my rec league for staying open. At least I'll have some sort of hockey to participate in because I got beer league playoffs this weekend and they didn't cancel them. Is it good for my health? Probably not, but you know what? That's all right. I'll take the risk if it means I can play a little bit of hockey for a couple more weeks.
This is hot.
36 drinks and you're fine.
Let's see how this hot take ages as well. That'll be interesting to watch.
No Oilers Nation Radio next week because you don't have a producer.
Her now.
We'll figure out that. But
We'll get a glass plate put up between me and you guys.
There's
That's
buttons
fair.
over there, and I want to push all of them.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
My Oodle Noodle hot performer of the week is Citizens of the Nation, because you guys have been incredible through all of this. We've gotten so much just people reaching out and asking and making sure and hoping that we're going to keep going, which we will. Content don't stop, show don't stop, and you guys are all fantastic. Thank you guys very, very much for the support, for the messages, for all the notes that you've sent to everybody over the last couple of days. It's been weird, but you guys make things a little bit better. And for that, I say the Oodle Noodle hot performer of the week is the nation's citizens. Go out hooking.
Sunday's canceled.
Sunday, oh yeah. Unfortunately, we did have to cancel our brunch party on Sunday. So if you're hearing this and you have not received your refund yet, reach out to us. We will take care of that. Unfortunately, it sucks. We were going to put on some Seinfeld refunds or reruns or something.
Maybe we could just have a Shawshank Redemption movie afternoon.
It's
Stay in
about
your
the
pajamas.
length of a hockey game.
Or
Yeah,
Kevin
that's true.
Alone.
Kevin alone.
Kevin Alone
in
is
New
dope.
York.
You know what? Second hot performer of the week is Kevin Alone. He was out there getting shit done,
He was.
both at home and in New York. With that said, I want to thank all of our sponsors, Sherwood Ford the Giant out in Sherwood Park, skipthedishes.ca, and our friends at Oodle Noodle for making all of this possible. Thank you guys to Tim and Christian for being here and being in high spirits and partying and enjoying our city despite the oddness of the global climate right now. You guys are the best. Thank you for being here. And thank you to all of you for listening. Please rate and respond on iTunes. Let us know how we're doing. And until then, have a great weekend. We will talk to you next Friday.
Best wishes. Thanks for listening to Oilers Nation Radio, a member of the Nation Network of Podcasts. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media to stay up to date and never miss a podcast.